2022 Vision Book is designed to be a launch pad to launch you into your potential self. It's the intentional system created by the magic of intuition and the power of action to form the perfect balance. So as such, the 2022 Vision Book has two cover options, black and beige, to symbolize the beauty of the masculine and feminine energies combined. The first part of the book focuses on the yin. It starts with visualizations, manifestation exercises, and law of attraction philosophy to help you tap into the magic of your intuition. The second part of the book focuses on the yang. It funnels these beautiful ideas into an effortless action plan through the power of strategy, productivity, goal design, and systematic thinking. Together they create the powerful duo. The book starts out with a letter about becoming your potential self and reaching for more. Then we move on to this metaphor that runs throughout the book, and it's climbing the mountain of your dreams. It comes from the idea that you should start by knowing what your dream life is, down to the minute detail, and using law of attraction and manifestation strategies. And then working your way backwards until you get more and more concrete and more specific, until you have a daily system that helps you achieve your dreams. So then we look into the 2021 review and we look at what amazing things happened this year, and we also have a comfort zone visioning exercise. Then one of my favorite exercises is the 10-year weekday exercise, looking forward to a weekday 10 years from now, in your dream weekday. You wake up on a Wednesday, what do you want it to look like? And to write it like a novel, because the more specific you can be with your dreams and desires, then your brain knows what it needs to go after specifically. So then we move into a Venn diagram. I'm a sucker for charts and systems and just visual representations of what my thought processes are. And this is just a Venn diagram of, based on your current life and your dream life, what do they have in common and what are the differences? And it can really get you thinking about which of those things are actually simple fixes and can be fixed now. And then that informs, what do you want a year from now to look like? And just like the 10-year visioning exercise, we envision a year from now on a typical weekday, what do we want it to look like in order to make that dream life and our current life come into better alignment. So then we start chunking our way down, and we're getting more and more specific. So we started top down, and now we're going down into goals. And so you're thinking about your theme of the year, and we're setting goals in multiple areas of our lives. When a lot of people set resolutions, they set way too many goals. So it's important to know, where do you want to be in these areas, but then to just focus on one. And later on with these other goals, we'll make a vision board based on these, because you do want to do something with these other goals, but to really put your full focus in which one goal would really move the needle toward you becoming your potential self, it's important to just prioritize one. And then write down the 15 reasons that you want that goal. Because sometimes when you think of the first reasons, they're good, but then once you really dig deeper and you get into the 13th, the 14th reason, you get to some really soul level things, and you realize that this stuff is important to you. Then we have some pages on some goal setting strategies. We've got action goals versus outcome goals, and we'll work on setting both of those two types. And then we go on to the pickle jar theory, and it's a prioritization exercise. So now this is where we're getting into the yang aspect. Okay, what projects are going to make this come to life? And you're going to brain dump all the projects, all the things that you'll need to do to make it come to life. And then we set out on this year's mountain, and this is where we really get into my favorite part of it, and this is where we start chunking out the system. It's where you go from a New Year's resolution and a good idea to actually everyday action plans that make this thing happen. So based on those projects and different mile markers, where do you want to be at the end of quarter 3, at the end of quarter 2, and at the end of quarter 1? And we're really working our way backwards. If this is where you want to be at the end of the year, these are the milestones that you're going to need to hit by working your way backwards. And so then we're going to chunk down even further. So based on quarter 1, we're going to split those up into months. Where do you need to be in March? Where do you need to be in February? Where do you need to be in January to make these projects and these dreams come to life? And then we do the same thing for January. Okay, if this is your January outcome, where do you need to be at the end of week 3, at the end of week 2, at the end of week 1? So then we say, okay, if this is where we want to be at the end of week 1, these are the tasks I need to do throughout the week to make my week 1 outcome. So we're just chunking it further and further and further and further down. And this is the point where a lot of people will resist it, because it says to add these actions to your calendar, and it's so important that you do that. If you have not reached your goals in the past, it's probably because maybe you resisted this section right here. I found that there are some people who really resist dreaming and they live very responsible lives, but then their responsibility never amounts to anything because they didn't dream big enough. And so the first part of the book is for those types of people. Then there are some people who dream really big, but those things never come into fruition, and it's all talk and no action, and it leads to a lot of disappointment when their dreams do not become reality. And this nitty-gritty section, this Yang section, where we actually make it a system and actionable, is for those types of people. And so then we have a note on the calendar and how important it is. When you have a task, it shouldn't just float in the air. It needs to be attached to time. And the way you attach it to time and get it out of your head to have a free mind is to put it in your calendar. So then we have the first monthly page. And the question every month is, what is the one most basic skill or character trait you'd like to master in January in order to make progress in your 2022 goal? So this is kind of your personal development plan. So then you brain dump what actions will help you master that trait, and then we add those to the calendar. Because it's so important to have a personal development plan and to be intentional, because personal growth and really becoming your potential self doesn't happen by accident. And then we add in some room for fun. What is on your bucket list this January? And then at the end of this yearly exercise, we talk about the stakes. How will you feel in March if you don't do it? How will you feel 10 years from now if you don't do it? To realize that your life is finite and there are stakes if you do not do it. And you not taking action today gets you 1% off, which over the course of a lifetime and over 10 years makes a massive difference and can lead to big disappointment. These are the stakes. And then we have a vision board exercise, and I will make a video that you could follow along with me to do this vision board. And throughout the year, I'm planning to do this with you. So there are quarterly pages and monthly pages and vision board exercise. And I want to do this together because I want to reach some of my goals. So I want to do Plan With Me's once a month where we talk about, what are we doing and making progress on our goals together. And then at the bottom it says, in the space below, write your 2022 goal. Cut it out and tape it to your bathroom mirror. Twice per day when you brush your teeth, say your goal out loud. Connect to it emotionally by visioning it as a movie in your mind and believe that it will happen. And this is a powerful exercise. Get a piece of paper, tape it to your mirror because you need to stay committed. And all throughout this vision book, there are steps along the way which enforce commitment to make these things more than just a New Year's resolution. And then it says, without vision, the people perish. So this marks the end of the yearly visioning portion of it. From here on out, we're down to monthly pages and quarterly pages. So at every quarter and every month, and at the yearly level, this yin and yang aspect is built in. Every quarter and every month, you're gonna vision and dream and focus on your desires and reconnect emotionally with your vision. And also, you're gonna take productive steps and take the action and create a system and assign these things to time to solidify these dreams as reality. So this will go on throughout the year. And finally, you get to your 2022 in review, and you're going to view the mountain that you've climbed and celebrate all your wins toward that one goal and also toward other goals that you've had. You're going to look at how you lived outside your comfort zone, and you're going to look how your dream life and current life are more in alignment now. And finally, the last thing is you writing a letter that's from your highest self back to you. What is your highest self or your intuition or God or whoever you want this letter to be from? What did they say was the impact of this year? And how does your highest self thank you for all your hard work that you've done this year? And how is your highest self proud of you? I'm so excited about this. I've been working on this a long time. This is the system that I've used for years. A couple years ago, I found a breast lump, and it took them six months to figure it out in biopsies and appointments. And at every appointment, they would say, oh, you're so young, it'll be fine. And then they'd be like, oh, this looks really bad. This is bigger than we would expect. And I kept getting bad news after bad news at every appointment, and things were not looking very good. And that was the first time that I listened to my intuition and that I started dreaming bigger. And that was the season that I learned how to dream. And that's where I developed that skill. And then once I got the good news that it was fine, it was just scar tissue after all those months of going through really this crisis, I resolved to take action. And I resolved to make these dreams a reality. I understood my priorities. I understood the finiteness of time. And I resolved to take action. So this is also the system that I made once I realized that I had more life to live. That's the 2022 Vision Workbook. I'm so excited to do this with you. I'm so excited to do the Plan With Me's every month. If you would like to buy this is available in digital form. I will link it below, and then you could also print it off if you want it in physical form. I'm hoping that next year to have the physical form available for purchase, and this year it's just the digital version. So I'm excited to work through this together. I will see you back here at the start of the year to do our visioning together.